Hey, hi ho, and welcome.
Hello.
And let's just start by laughing right away. Okay, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm sorry that I
We're
have
all here.
been MIA. I know.
We're all
MIA.
here. Nobody's missing.
I know. Yesterday and the day before, I had men in replacing my whole plumbing system. So that's been done. And I look lighter because I wrote a check for $14,475. And so see how much I have left.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Holy.
Yeah. Thank God
I
for
would
loans.
look lighter.
Right?
I would be a color of my shirt.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was better. The first guy said 40,000. So 14 didn't seem so bad.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What a deal.
I know it. Anyway,
That's
welcome
crazy.
everybody to Sisters of the Magical Tarot. No, the Mystical Tarot. Mystical and magical.
One of
Why
those
not?
mystical and magical.
Why not? And I want
We're
to
the
welcome
sisters, man. Just
That's
cop to it.
I want to welcome Marina from Heart Center Tarot. I want to welcome Shari, Voices from the Swamp, and whoops, wrong way. Val, whoops. How do I do this?
You
Val
got
from Dragonfly Crystals.
that way.
Thank you, gals, for being here. I know. Thank you
It's
so
the
much.
opposite direction you want it to go in.
I know. I always do that. I always go, whoops.
I-
It's nice if you're in the middle, though. Then you can do this.
Yeah.
And if
Yes.
it's two people, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you all for being with us this afternoon in the midst of, I don't know, 2.5 weeks of hell.
Wow.
Anyway, so what I thought we might want to talk about today was how laughter is magic. And we were just doing some laughing backstage. I think everybody's got something that they can, bring in, including yourself. Yeah. So please share with us anything that, I got a few stories to tell. And so, but first let's welcome some folks for being here with us today.
You got to put up with Teacher Barbara just said at 6:02. Or maybe that's 4:02 for you.
Yeah.
It is.
That's freaking hilarious. You make a shirt like that, send me one.
All right, there you go.
I will wear it.
Felon 47. There you go.
Yes.
All right.
May
Maureen.
the odds be ever in your favor underneath.
Really? So Maureen's here, and Liz, artist Liz, Denise Fletcher, Edward Kenneth, Mary Thornberry, Sonia's here, Maria's here, Amanda, Norm, Tea Garden Chicken, Diana Oil Painter, Anya's here, Teacher Barbara. Nice to see you, Barbara. I hope school's going all right. Maria has perfect health. And no, you won't get in trouble. Not with us anyway, Barb. Not with us. Yeah. No. Swampy 63. You bought
People
yourself
proudly-
a Tooth Fairy present. You ordered emerald studs. Ooh. Right?
Yeah.
Christine Pryor. Yeah.
Fancy schmancy.
Yes.
You deserve it, Maureen. You put up with enough crap.
Oh, God,
You
yes.
deserve it.
Oh, yeah. If we don't treat ourselves, who the hell's going to treat us? Right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny too, because I got a phone call. I gave the check to them last night when they left, and I got a phone call first thing this morning. Yeah, Ellie, it seems you've written the check out correctly in the numerical category, but you put 1,000 instead of 14,000.
Aw.
I said, oh shit, yeah. And so Keith said, wow, you're losing it. And I thought, was that like
Psychologically, I'm
Psychologically.
14,000.
Yeah. But
Yes.
anyway, no, it's still okay. I got hot water. I got a new water heater.
Oh,
Yay.
there's
As
nothing
someone
like
who loves
plumbing-
her hot
plumbing
shower.
that actually
Yeah.
works. I mean,
Yeah. Now I actually have to turn on the cold water when I do this, because I was just putting hot water on. It was fine.
yes. Now both work. So
Yeah, I know. You got to be careful not to get burned, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Scald yourself.
That's right. Oh,
Nothing
you've
like
had
being under the shower and somebody else flushes in the house at one of the other bathrooms, and suddenly you're in either scalding hot water or freezing cold
Yeah.
water, depending.
That's right. You're right, Shari. That's awful.
It's like,
Yeah.
yow!
So Tea Garden Chicken says the last 2 classes she taught, she started with 30 to 60 seconds of everybody laughing. And then, that's perfect. That's laughter yoga. There is a thing called laughter yoga.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of start fake, like, and then it just goes on from there.
It bubbles up from your belly like Buddha.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear other people laugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that can just make it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing better than hearing a baby laugh.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
little
or
baby.
baby
Something really
giggling.
and they just can't stop and they just laugh and laugh and laugh. And the parents will keep making the same face or the same noise and they get more and more hysterical.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
definitely.
great.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
great.
Or you laugh so much you cry. You don't want
Yeah.
to laugh so much you pee your pants. My mother's done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done
I don't have
that.
to worry about laughing to do that.
It happens anyway. Right.
It happens all the time anyway.
If you sneeze, if you get up,
Unfortunately, this is what happens when we get up in the
When you
double
get older,
Yeah.
you start wearing incontinence pads because you can't help but pee all over yourself.
something to
Oh,
look
Lord.
forward to, everyone.
Yes.
That's it.
absolutely. Yeah.
All you 20 and 30-year-olds, you just wait. It's coming, baby.
Yes.
That's pretty funny. So hi, Garden Genie and Sixes. I haven't seen you in a while, but I appreciate all your comments on my walls and stuff when you watch.
Here she's always commenting, but
Yeah, she
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, Maria, baby's pure joy. You're right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, we're really happy to have you here. So we really need laughter right now. We need to have some kind of an outlet. And I think if you asked me what my values were, I think I took a test one time and it said, like, what did you want to teach your children, or what did you want to, what laughter is like one of the top 5, because if you laugh, you're looking at the world in a different way, and you're also, it's really good for you. I guess it releases endorphins as well.
It does.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
it's not
absolutely.
only that, but I trust somebody that can bust into a belly laugh at any given moment, or greater than I do somebody who's serious all the time, or whose only way to laugh is to punch down and hurt someone or make fun of somebody. I have a really morbid sense of humor, or so I've been told. And so sometimes the things I find funny, everybody just kind of looks at me like, really? And I can't help it. That's just where my brain goes. But I don't like the ones that punch down. I don't find that funny at all.
No, I don't think a lot of people do.
Yeah. I mean, I will be the first to admit that I have a very awkward, is it? I laugh about things sometimes that some people don't find funny at all. And like I was on with Kelly Doesn't Cats
So don't
and
feel
Ivana.
bad.
And Kelly named the groundhogs that we were supposed to be in this groundhog reading day, and one of them was Willie. And so we were talking about, and Ivana was there with a great big bush behind her, and I said, just don't let her have the Willie, because she's sitting right there with that open bush, I tend to offend some folks that don't care for that kind of humor, but yeah. Anyway,
I love it.
it's
That
just
was
fun.
a good one.
It's
You
just fun.
gotta laugh.
Yeah, you gotta laugh. You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put anybody on the spot to start. Does anybody want to start first? Marina or Val or Shari? Either one of you. What would you?
I
do you
went
have-
first last time. Somebody else go first.
All right.
Well, the one story that always makes me laugh, and this is my son was probably about 5 or 6 at the time. I think he had just started school. And so it was a school night. We had friends that had come over to visit. And he was up in the bathroom. He's having a bath. Okay. And he's got bubbles in there and he's having a bath. Well, my friend Helen really had to go to the bathroom. And she said, and we only had the one bathroom in the house. And it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I said, oh, that's all right. Just go up there. He'll be fine. She said, yeah, but I can't just walk in. What am I going to tell him? So um, I hollered from the bottom of the stairs, Chris, Helen is coming upstairs. She needs to use the bathroom. Close your eyes so she can't see you. And she said she went in there, and there he was, just his eyes closed.
That was perfect.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the day when he would believe things like that. But yeah, close your
Yeah.
eyes so she can't see you.
You can't
That's
see you.
funny.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
God.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, it is cute. It is. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, there's lots of really, really good things that happen when you're not planning on it. It's just like a perfect moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And oh gosh, that one of the gals that I used to work for at the bank, she had a little boy, and she was sitting on the toilet, and the little boy came in the bathroom. I think he was 2 or so. And he says, Mom, can you come out and make me a peanut butter sandwich? I don't know what it was. And she said, okay, sure. And he said, before I leave, can I pat your fur? And then he said, no, Michael, you go out there and wait.
Yeah.
Out of the
You're
mouth
so
of babes.
innocent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
There are
Oh my
so many
God.
stories with Chris. I think he always had a sense of humor. He just didn't realize it. But
Yeah.
yeah. Another quick story. One day he and a friend of his had decided that they wanted to have mice, right? So they went down to the pet store, and they pooled their money, and they bought mice. Well, the lady at the store told them that they were getting 2 boys, and it turned out no, they got a boy and a girl. So it wasn't very long before there was these teeny tiny little mice all over my house, and
Oh.
I was going crazy. I was going nuts. Like I can't believe you did that. So I said, no, you got to get rid of them. And he said, okay, yeah, we can do that. He said, but Mom, you're going to owe me $10. I said, why am I going to owe you $10? He said, well, that's the amount of money that what was his friend's name? Peter. That's the amount of money that Peter paid, and I can't afford to pay him back. I don't have a job or anything. So you got to pay him the $10. Oh
my
He was
God.
doing high finance at that age, telling
Yeah.
you, setting you straight that if
I
that's
get it.
yeah. I don't have a job. I'm a kid.
I love that. My son was like that. He was sitting in the back seat. He's like 2, and he's in the car seat. And my daughter's in the front seat, and she wants to know the difference between history and geography. And I'm trying to explain, geography is the study of countries and place and this and that. And history is, oh, Mom, I know what history is, Alex says. I said, what is it? What is it, Alex? He says, when 2 cars crash on a highway, they're history.
Oh my God, that is so cute. Oh,
That's a great one.
I think of those.
Children, they hear it that way, and that's how they think of it. So
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is so
It's
pure.
like my daughter thinking that food stamps were stamps that you bought
Yeah.
that tasted like different foods. I mean, that's
Oh, I love that.
yeah. Kids, have that
Yeah.
that sense that they know what something is and it isn't at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because they have this thing called imagination.
Uh-huh. That we
Diana says, you gals have me rolling.
good. Good.
They use our imagination.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
how laughter is magic. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
Edward Kenneth loves your laugh, Sherry.
I see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Lovely.
It's the
Well,
only
Sherry-
laugh I got. So
What you got to tell us? What kind of funny thing happened to you? Oh, you can tell us
Oh
about,
my God,
your
let's see.
mom coming
yeah,
out of
my
that
mom
surgery.
tried
That
to
was
set me up with a neurosurgeon like an hour after brain surgery. He
Mhm.
comes in to check on her. She's like, "Oh, my daughter is single." He's like 20 years younger than me,
Right.
and
Right.
I'm sitting there just shaking my head, and he turns like 50 shades of purple. He didn't know what to say, and I just said, "Tell her, okay, thanks. We'll talk later." And he said,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you, Miss Miller. She and I'll talk later." And my mom was perfectly happy then. But I guess the thing
You could
was,
be Wayne.
ah,
There you go, Wayne. We need to have a new show and you can run it, honey.
Yes,
there you
Use it.
go. We got to get some of the guys together for this one.
absolutely.
But
Oh my
Wayne,
gosh.
Wayne, do you have the balls to do it? That's the
Oh,
question.
That's a big question.
That is. That is. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
definitely
Oh
true.
my god.
No.
I think when I was around 11 or 12, we lived in Florida at the time. And my mother, when we would, of course, in Florida, back in the 60s, people ran around in nothing but cutoffs and t-shirts, or
Oh
just
yeah.
cutoffs and no shirt, or in their bathing suits. Nobody thought anything about it. It was like,
Barefoot too,
yeah,
right? All
Yeah.
barefoot.
barefoot
Yeah.
or flip
Yep.
flops, yeah, one or the other.
Yep.
And there was this guy, this really gorgeous guy, who would go jogging every afternoon, right about the time that she was picking us up from the sitter's house to go home. And every time we would pass him, she would wolf whistle out the window at him, which would embarrass me to no end. I would literally hit the floorboard going, "Mom, I can't believe you did that." And she'd be laughing, and he'd
Oh,
always wave, and
that's
he
great.
played right along with it.
Uh-huh.
And I
That's
think it's true. I watched my mother do it, and then I realized I could do it too. The
right.
older you get, the more you can flirt with younger men, and they're not offended by it.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're just having fun, and it's not something
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Well, most times it's not something
Most of the time.
serious, but
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
there are those of us like me who never learned to flirt, and I still don't know how to flirt. I don't
Just
know
gotta
how
bat
to
your
flirt.
eyes, Val. Just gotta
I-
bat your eyes. Yeah.
I mean, I never had trouble getting attention.
Oh, I see what
but
you're saying.
I just
Oh.
never knew. I still don't know how to flirt.
It doesn't-
Technically, I don't either. My husband used to accuse me of flirting with everybody. I said, "I'm not flirting. I'm just being friendly."
Oh,
Yeah.
see, maybe that's why. Because I'm introvert, and I'm not that friendly.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That must be it.
Oh, well,
yeah. I
yeah.
never got that. No.
I'll do that though. I'll
Oh,
be in a
wow.
store and I see this guy, he's got a 6-pack and he's got
No.
some other drinks like whiskey and this and that, and he's got chips and he's running to pay for everything. And I said, "Don't forget the dip."
Oh,
And he's like, "What?"
Because mine was just on rushing to the checkout.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people don't get stuff.
Yeah, they don't
That
get stuff.
really cracks me up too. They don't get
Yeah.
it right away.
No,
They're
they
like,
don't get it right
5
away. 'Cause
miles
they're
away.
all
Yeah.
they're not in the moment. Well, they
Right.
are in the sense that they're focused on the checkout, and they
Yes.
don't get. But I think
Or they just literally aren't in the moment ever. It takes them a while.
I can only tell funny things that happened to me. I don't remember. It's like when I've laughed with people till I cried, and
Yes.
it's on silly
Uh-huh.
things that wouldn't mean anything to anyone else, kind of stuff. But I
Yeah.
mean, I've had the most hilarious things happen to me, and I giggle like crazy about it later. Like one time I was on an airplane. I got off the flight. This was like 20 years ago. And I am unceremoniously, walking along with my luggage, towing my little carry-on. And I think, well, I feel like what's dragging? I had tucked the blanket into my pants in the back, and I was towing a train.
And nobody said
Airplane blanket, and I looked around and not one person were acting like they saw anything. And I'm looking at the airline. You think, and I'm walking up the jetway already. You think they would have yanked it out? I'm going home with their property. And consequently, that's how I have an airline blanket to this day.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because I'm just, how, but apparently it can happen, folks. You can
It
tuck
can.
it into the.
At least it wasn't toilet paper, right? On your.
Well, I mean, I had it in the belt, in my jeans, in the back.
Yes.
Because I was, straightening my top and everything. I don't know. But anyway, I giggled so hard.
Yeah.
Of course, I got red while I was laughing, but it was quite amusing. And I never saw anyone. They're probably so tired getting off the flight that they didn't pay attention. But
Or they just were like, okay, we'll laugh later when she's already on the plane.
I've seen everything now. But
And
no,
it could be, Val, that you were walking along with such confidence and such
an empress. I was an empress with
yes.
I'm beautiful. I'm gorgeous. Look at me. And everybody's doing all they can not to laugh their butts off.
Well, I mean, my husband was with me and he didn't even notice. So,
Well, I had this guy.
That's when you whack them good and say, well, a lot of help you are.
I always tell him that. You know how you might have mascara smudge somewhere?
Yes, yes.
Or an eyelash here, and you say, honey, why didn't you tell me?
I know.
Why didn't you tell
Well,
me?
okay. So that segues well into my next. I went in to talk to a lawyer about something for some, like I was a mortgage officer and we were having a professional meeting. And I sit down across from me, he introduces himself, and he's got a booger hanging out of his nose. Really
oh gosh.
And what am I going to do? Hey, you got a booger?
You can't say anything.
No.
But
and
where
so,
do you look? But where do you look?
Yeah. And then he says, oh, I'll be right back. I have to go check something. And he comes back and it's gone.
He must have.
And then he wants to shake my hand when I leave. Well, I didn't really want to do that.
My husband went through about a couple of years before he passed. He had lost like 80 pounds. He was actually working at it, trying to lose weight, and he was starting to look really good, because we had some weights. He was using those carefully because of his back, but he was losing weight, and it got to where most of his pants were all so loose on him that he would pull them on and go to walk across the room and they fall down, right? And so he got in the habit of putting a belt around him extra tight, trying to, even the belt got to where it was too big because he lost so much weight.
Wow.
And it was his birthday, and he was running around the house in a pair of homemade boxer shorts that Lewis had made for him. My mother taught Lewis how to sew on her machine. And so he made him and his daddy matching boxer shorts. And so he's running around the house in these boxer shorts. And I'm like, baby, we might get a couple of visitors stop by tonight. Why don't you go, put some britches on or something?
Please.
And he just went over his head and he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Because he's thinking my mother's coming. And that was it, No, it was our pastor and his wife that showed up. And he answers the door in his boxer shorts. He was so embarrassed. And then he got mad at me. I said, I told you to go put pants on.
What the hell's the matter with you?
And then another time, about that same point in time, he had lost all this weight. And he had gotten to where he wouldn't even zip and unzip his britches anymore. He could just pull them straight up and down, like they were elastic waist or something. And he was doing something, and he was trying to, he was talking to my mother, and he's like, I can't find my wallet. She goes, it's in the front. He had his pants on backwards. He'd been around. He'd been to the stores and stuff all day long. Never realized he had his jeans on backwards.
Yeah.
And nobody said a word. Of course, my mom
I bet
was
they were all laughing, though.
She was crying. She was trying not to laugh so hard. And it was just like, oh my God, this is too funny.
Oh,
I forgot about that. Oh, goodness.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. So Joan says, when I was younger, my parents had invited our preacher to dinner. My mom was talking to him the outside bathroom while he was washing his hands. I came in and said, what the hell's going on here? I've done that. I've done that. Oh my God. I was telling the girls after the show last night that I was asked to come in and to be a substitute teacher for my son's 5th grade class at the Christian school. The only reason he went there was because he had asthma, and Texas school system were going to fine me for not bringing him in every day or whatever it was. So I brought him there. He had like 10 kids in the class. So there's a little kid in the class, and he's making a paper cell phone. And he's doing a good job of it, but like we're trying to do something else, math or whatever it was. So I said, could you please put that away? And then could you please put that away? And then could you please put that away? And he wouldn't put it away. So I said, put that damn thing away. And my son goes, he didn't say it out loud, but he did that.
He wanted you to know his outrage at you were embarrassing him with your.
A 10-year-old knows more than his mom, And
Yes.
some reason they never asked me to come back, but I don't know why. Oh my God.
Something was obviously wrong with them if they didn't understand why you did that. So
I know, but it's okay because it wasn't my comfort zone anyway. So
That wouldn't be.
kind of.
I think he probably heard me tell this story before, but it's in retrospect, it's funny. And it was a story that was told to me by my then husband. I was working at the bank, and we had there was, I don't know if we'd moved to a different floor, so it was like we were having an office grand reopening or whatever. Anyway, so there was good deal of wine, good deal of cheese, and we were inviting people, after 3 p.m., whatever, come on by the department and say hi. So we had this short little get together in the department, and everybody's leaving. Well, it's time to go home, and there's still a lot of this wine left over, a lot of cheese and crackers and whatnot left over. So I was one of the last ones leaving, and the boss said, "Oh, Marina, you might as well take that home with you. Like, we can't have wine hanging around here, and you take it home with you." So I said, "Okay, all right," and put it in a bag. So I had some wine, I had some cheese, I had some crackers. I was all set to go.
You were all set.
Yeah, I was all set. And on my way home, I met up with a couple friends who were waiting for the ferry, because I used to take the ferry across Dartmouth. I lived in Dartmouth, but worked in Halifax. So, waiting for the ferry, and we're talking, and someone said, "Hey, let's go over here. Let's have a drink." And it was like, "Sure, yeah, okay." Anyway, time passes. Yours truly has had more than a few. I have not. It never even occurred to me to call my husband and let him know what was happening, where I was, nothing. So finally realized that, I'm probably in some trouble and I need to go home. So I take the last ferry across, and there I get to a phone booth, and okay, now I have to call home. Well, it didn't ring a full ring before he picked it up. "Hello?" And so I said, "Hey, it's me." And he first cursed at me, and then wanted to know where I was. And I said, "Well, I'm in Dartmouth." And he said, "Yeah, I know. Where in Dartmouth?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." He said, "Oh, for Christ's sakes. All right, is there a street corner by you?" I said, "Yes, there is." He said, "What does it say on the street corner?" And my response apparently was, "It says walk and don't walk." I was on the corner of walk and don't walk.
That's great. That's great.
Just don't move anywhere. Can you see the ferry from where you are? And I said, "Yes, I can." He said, "Okay, never mind." And Dartmouth at that point wasn't very big. So, at that late at night, if a car came by, it's not like you could miss it. And yeah, he did come to pick me up, and he said, "Oh my God, a party looking for a place to happen. Look at that. We've got the wine and the cheese." And
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
That's great.
Corner
Don't
of
walk and don't
Ugh.
walk.
walk and
but
don't walk.
sometimes those get-togethers are the best get-togethers.
they
you
are.
can
Isn't
ever
that
have.
the truth?
Didn't you have a wonderful time?
I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
I did. I didn't realize that.
No,
know?
because you lose track of time when you're having that much fun.
Yeah. It wasn't
Yes.
planned, and so there's no
wasn't
expectation.
planned. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just.
And you're not sitting there with a drink watching your clock, because that's the last
No,
doggone thing you're
no.
thinking
Yeah.
of. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're
Well,
with your
Marina,
girlfriends, you're going to
We
enjoy
should have
it.
lived.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should have lived closer together because I was the
Yeah.
same way. We Libras roll the same way. I
Yeah.
went to a Christmas party and I was absolutely schnockered. And
Yeah.
I went into the restroom and there was a basket of tampons in there. And I said, "Oh, okay." So I put them in my pocket and I go out and I say to everybody, "Want a cigar?" And I was saying it to all the guys in there. And they were like, "Are you all right?" I mean, it was just like, I should never have been standing up by then but that was a long time ago, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. It was
Yes.
a lot of
I mean, you get to the point where you do things like that and
Yeah.
you're enjoying yourself immensely at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All the barriers are down.
They're
I'm
down.
not concerned.
They're down.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
You're just having
When
fun.
I was 12, my mother's sister married her second husband, John. He was in the Air Force. We lived in Florida, and so they had the wedding reception at the officers club. And so John and several of his buddies realized that the bartender would give me and my girlfriend, who was the same age, we were both like 12, 13, would give us the drinks that they would send us to the bar to go get. They said, "Go tell the bartender we need a whatever, whatever, whatever." So we'd go to the bar. "Yeah, we're with John and Cindy's party, and John wants us to bring the bartender." Was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Now he's passing over drinks to 12-year-olds. Didn't think anything about it. Well, we got back to where my uncle was, and then him and his buddies would start laughing. They say, "Okay, go ahead and drink it. Y'all can have it," And so we're okay. Down the hatch.
God, Shari.
Probably about an hour went by when my aunt comes walking by, and of course John and his buddies are just rolling on the floor laughing because my girlfriend and I were so drunk we couldn't even stand up without hanging on to each other. And my aunt walks by, and I'm like, "Hi, Cindy," and she just looks at me, and of course John and them were rolling on the floor, and she just pivots on her foot and goes back to where my mother is, and she's like, "Okay, your daughter is rip-roaring drunk over there because of my new husband. So I don't know who you want to kill first, her or him."
Right. But
Welcome to
they
the
But
like
the next morning,
Yeah,
my
they
mother
like you to
drug
do that.
my butt out of bed at 6 a.m. the next morning and made me go to school. My girlfriend talked her way out of going to school. She managed to stay home and because she got sick. No, I had to go to school the next day and do testing. We were doing
Yeah.
You're
the
hurting my
quarterly testing that we would do.
oh,
Oh my God.
Yes, artist Liz.
oh,
I spent the whole time in class like this because the light was killing
Oh,
me.
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
So,
goodness.
so Liz says, did you guys ever pass gas by accident in public and you didn't realize that someone was standing near you?
Trying
My
an
da-
elevator.
Yeah, my daughter's history teacher did. And then he said, "Oh, did I toot?" Yeah. Oh,
My husband used to just say, "Oh, an elephant just ran across the room." And when Louis was little, he'd go look for that elephant. He'd be, "Boy, that elephant stinks, Daddy."
Yes.
Because he believed him that an elephant ran across the room. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
Yeah.
Katie Pratt says, the way I share laughter is showing a picture of my mom in a 1700 costume on the back of a parade float in an outhouse with bloomers down to her knees. Oh my God. Fabulous. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
man.
Yeah. I know that I got my sense of humor from my Aunt Toddy. She never had children, but she was crazy. And she's the one that would break wind in a door jam and she had the long, she was a big, heavy woman, and she had the long dresses. And after she did, she'd go, well, I feel better. And she'd fan her dress. Yeah.
I knew people that would do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a few of them were related, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
Yeah.
I know. Now,
Gotta
this
have
was a
fun.
story told to me by my mom. Was when my after my grandmother and my mom and Cindy's dad got divorced, my grandmother remarried a little Cajun man, right? And they were on their way driving from Lake Charles to Orange, Texas, which is about an hour and a half ride.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it was a car full of people. It was a small car. And so my grandmother was sitting on my granddaddy's lap, her new husband. And it was the first time he was going to meet her parents, even though they had
Mhm.
already gotten married. Well, in the process of the long ride and everything, by the time they got there, his legs were completely numb from the pressure of where and how she had to sit on his lap
Sure.
because the car was so
Yeah.
full. And so they pull up and people start piling out the car. And my great grandmother and great granddaddy, they come out to meet this new husband of hers. And he proceeds to get out of the car and both legs are asleep. And he goes smack right face first into the grass.
Nice and
And my mama was like,
Oh, wow.
And she turned around and went back in the house. And my papa was like, you got any more in there?
Yeah. Didn't tell us the boy was a drinker.
Really?
Because my
That's
mama
actually
didn't allow alcohol or tobacco in her house.
teetotaler.
My
Yeah.
my papa would have to go behind the shed. There were some old steps behind the shed that he would go sit on to smoke his pipe and drink a beer.
Mhm.
And when the older boys would come for holiday stuff, they would go hide the beer behind the shed, and that's where they would go to go drink.
No.
And so she just she was so funny about that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
no, my papa did, and of course I wasn't alive then. My mother was still a kid, and
Yeah.
but she said it was just so funny because my
Oh,
papa
sure.
just kind of said, y'all got some more in there? Like whatever it is you drinking, son, I want some.
Oh, for heaven's sake. That's great.
Yeah.
So my
Oh.
grandfather and grandmother and my Aunt Toddy were taking a road trip. And I say that with quotes because I think it was 10 miles probably. It was back
Wow.
in, it would have been back in before 1917. So it would have been that long ago.
Yeah.
And my
That
aunt
would have
was
been a road trip
that was a
with no
long time
road.
ago. Absolutely. So, but she had to pee. They both had to
Mhm.
pee, and there's no place to stop in that
No.
time period. So
No.
my grandfather pulls the car over, and the ladies get out of the car and they start into the woods. And
Mhm.
my grandmother kept saying, "Nope, we got to go further. We got to go further. Nope, we got to go a little bit further." And they finally, is this enough? I got to go to the bathroom. So, all right, this is fine. So both ladies, or little girl and mother, squatted down to pee, and all of a sudden they heard woo woo, and a train was waiting.
Oh!
Yeah, Marina.
Oh God, civilization
Yeah.
was encroaching on the forest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Just stay where the trees are. Don't get out there and
Yeah.
be sitting ducks. Yeah. Wow.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Things that
Funny.
the things that make us laugh, the things that bring us joy and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You got
absolutely.
you gotta laugh.
You got
You got it. Yeah, you got it. Well,
laugh.
it feels
At
so
least
good.
once a day.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Barbara says if she farts in class, she blames it on the kids.
Give them a dirty little Johnny.
Oh,
I got behind an older gentleman and people were like walking down the hall towards the elevator. With every step he took, it was,
Yes.
and I don't know if he was farting or pooping, but the smell was horrendous. And it was like everybody, like he got into the elevator and everybody kind of like disappeared. They were like, "Oh no, wait, I forgot something in the office," and they all like
Yeah.
left him there to ride the
Uh-huh.
elevator down by himself. Nobody would get on with him.
Uh-huh.
It was like, oh my god, that was funny.
Oh,
And
I did see a picture somebody posted, and I think it was on Facebook or one of those social medias at one point, and it was a dog who had gotten a hold of somebody's false teeth, and it was in its mouth, and it was pretty funny, actually.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, uh-huh.
yes.
absolutely. And I actually have had my top teeth come out when I've been talking to
I
somebody. You
mean,
know?
that's what
Yeah.
Teacher Barbara was saying, and I have to say, yeah,
Mhm.
thank God I don't have false teeth. But I mean, my dad did have false teeth.
Yeah, my mother
in
did too.
later time, yeah. So I do know that when he wanted to relax, they came out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at night, my mother would put it in Polydent, and then someone
Yeah.
would call on the phone, and Tia had to talk like this, and she didn't want to. She had to go get her teeth in again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Denise is saying, this is the thing. My daughter once said to me, Denise, Mom, is everybody's family as weird as we are? And I said, oh, yes, but not everybody talks about it.
Yes, that's right.
You know what? That isn't wrong.
Right.
Yes,
Everybody has a squirrely kind of family.
We
There's
do.
squirrely things to talk about. Come
We
on.
do.
Come on,
Yeah.
all of you. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
You
So
know.
yeah, we are all really the same. I mean, some of us
Yeah.
are a little dirtier than others, but and fart jokes always are great. So
yes,
certain jokes that you can or things that can happen to you,
Yeah.
or falling down. I
Yeah.
was when my first husband and I were married. He was very fastidious and drove me
Yes.
nuts. We were in college, and it had snowed, and he was coming down a hill from the place, and he slid and into the mud and the snow, and his pants got ruined. So he was so mad, and I couldn't stop because it was funny, and he didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt. So he goes back in, he changes his clothes, and he comes back out, and what does he do? He goes the same way and does the same thing. And oh my God, I had tears, and he was just as mad as hell. And it's like, if you don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
absolutely.
And I have this story to tell, but you guys, I hope it's not dinner time where you are.
We've got stronger constitutions than that.
I told the story before, but it bears repeating because it was just, now you had to be there because my ex-husband was a little bit of a well, we'll just call him a shitsky. He was a little narcissistic and controlling.
I didn't know you were married to the same guy I was.
Oh, yeah. A lot of us married that same one. And
I didn't.
we were married a lot of times. So yeah, we were in Maine.
But I think I dated him.
Yeah. Well, you may have, yeah. And we were in a vacation rental in Mammoth, California, because that's on the other side of Yosemite. So they have all those beautiful things to see. And we were also going to drive down to the valley, Yosemite Valley. And I love to do that. So of course, you drive through Tuolumne Meadows and all the way down. But before we left the house, my husband was saying, oh, I'm having cramps. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And then after an hour or two longer, okay, let's do it. We didn't get, we hardly got any distance at all, but far enough away where we had at least invested an hour in the drive. And he had to pull off, and thank God somehow he controlled it to where there were trees. Because part of it, it's a canyon with nothing, and you can't stop. There's nothing, but there were trees, so he could go off onto the side. And we didn't have any toilet paper. For some reason, we didn't have the foresight. So he'd make these sounds like
Spit it out, Val. Spit it out.
Oh my God.
laughed so hard in my life. I laughed from the top of the hill going down into Yosemite Valley. I laughed the whole way. We had to stop at a store to try and buy him something like
Something to clean up with, huh?
well, I went to a bathroom. I had gone into the store, and the biggest trunks were almost too small for him. That's all he had swim trunks.
Oh.
He was trying to clean up, and the people were coming out of the bathroom, and you could see their faces. But it was so bad. We had to drive with our windows down. But I laughed because he would go, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. It's coming. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. 8 times. Because there wasn't any toilet paper.
Right.
And it stayed with him.
Y'all should have just made him drop his drawers and pulled him behind the car or whatever down the hill.
I have to say that was like one of the most fun times I ever spent with him. Yes. I mean, it was
Oh, that's great.
Christine's husband's like, what is going on?
I know.
Hi, Christine's husband.
Yep. So that actually something similar happened to me in Hawaii. Keith and I are driving, and we have to stop at a rest area just to pull over. I guess we were going to switch or something. So I pull into the rest area, and there's a man standing there. And he just says something odd about him. He's an older man, and he's got like a plastic something in front of him. And I'm like, what is it? I thought it was a water fountain at first. I didn't know what it was. And he and I both look over, and the he's wearing a bag, a urine bag, outside of his pants.
Oh, okay.
And we're stopped right in front of him like this. I said, I gotta go. I just took off because I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to stop. We were both laughing so hard. And, I felt bad for him, but doesn't he know you put it inside?
You put it inside, not outside.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I have yet to see that. That's something.
Yeah. But Christine's husband got tickled. That's great.
Maureen said
We all needed this
her
show.
husband came out asking if she was okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's why you always need tissues in the car, Wayne.
You need to.
You're right, Wayne.
My kids always get after me.
Anything.
Yeah, because I always carry wet ones. Or whatever.
We had tissues and we used. I mean, this is like 8 stops. It was so much. He used it by the second stop. He utilized the whole little pile in there.
I'd say, Val, your marriage was really shit at that point.
Yes.
Oh my
Things
God.
are getting shittier by the minute.
By the minute. Absolutely. Yeah.
It was the best entertainment I've ever had.
Oh. My mom out of nowhere tells us kids, oh my goodness, a mouse, because we didn't see it. We'd say, where? And she'd say, come right over here and look down. And then she'd let one rip.
Oh man, that's not funny.
That's as bad as my husband in the elephant run across the room.
Really?
And Lewis would go looking for the elephant and be like, oh, he stinks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is funny. The only thing you could wipe was with an old straw wrapper.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Or like a wrapper on that's plasticky,
Yeah, or a plasticky thing. Like that's gonna do it.
Yes.
I had a girlfriend that decided to grab leaves off a bush and wipe, and it was poison ivy and she didn't know it.
Right. It was Yeah.
You know, Pam, I don't know what are you talking? What did he eat? I can't remember what it was, but I ate something similar. But apparently, he couldn't digest it.
I
And
guess not.
Yeah.
so fate had things in store for him,
Uh-huh.
and I've never laughed so hard in my life. I am not kidding you. It was uncontrollable, and he was furious because I was laughing. We were furious. How could you?
Yes.
I can't.
It's like if the roles were reversed, you would be roaring with laughter.
I
Yep.
don't think.
Yes.
I don't know that he would, because he probably wouldn't. But after describing to you the ex-husband, roared with laughter.
Yeah.
Like just desserts. Thank you very much.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely.
and that's the kind of laughter that's contagious, Val, because all
Yeah.
of us were just
Yeah.
completely
Oh,
laughing,
yeah.
like we could see the whole thing. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
live through it again, enjoying it.
Before you could even get out what exactly happened, you had all of us laughing
All of
just
us
because our
laughing.
imaginations were filling in the blanks. And
Yes.
sometimes
Well,
that's worse than what you
imagine
can
going
see.
through all those hairpin turns, and you're on this canyon kind of a road for a while, and then
Yeah.
you're sheer walls, and there's no place to pull out. There's no trees, and so he had to. I gotta. And just it's coming. And that's at one point.
They would never be able to have babies.
At one point, he had to go. It came, and he.
Pretty awful when that happens, when it has a different motive than you do.
Where's a camera when you need one? And this, Your Honor, is why I want a divorce.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was so enjoyable.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Once her dad was driving in a car. Behind the car her uncle was in. Dad observed all four doors opening up, and they knew Clarence had let one fly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Val has me laughing too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh dear. The only other thing I can think of was the time that I was down in the lunchroom at college, and I had a friend who didn't like his computer science teacher, whose name was Charlie Brown. I might have told this story before, but the fact that his name was Charlie Brown and he was a nerd. And so my friend Gary had an ice cream cone, and he said, I'm gonna smash this into Charlie Brown's window. And so he somehow gets a ladder, and he climbs up the ladder to smash the ice cream cone into Charlie Brown's window, and there's already one there.
What?
And he's standing there going, oh my God. And I peed my pants. I did. I was laughing so hard. Who would have thought of doing that at the same time?
I mean, that coincidence of that is highly unusual. Yeah. That it would have already occurred by someone else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Mary
God.
Starshine, that is absolutely perfect.
An executive board. Oh.
April Fool's Day. Yes.
I can absolutely believe that.
Yep. Yep. We were driving in a conversation van packed full of snacks and stuff, but not one napkin. That's what the old sleeve does, Diana.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
We don't have any questions this week, do
Or
we,
you
girls?
just learn to go commando and use your undies to be the wiper, So
Yeah. Sometimes you have to do that. Yeah.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
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 Got to be
Oh.
creative.
There's a
Yeah.
creative way for that. Mhm.
Yes.
I always
Always
carry way too much shit with me, Amanda. Way too much.
Yes.
But I've learned my lesson. I'd rather have more than not enough.
I totally agree with
Yeah.
you.
I
That's
keep a
why those
spare pair in
white
my
things.
office. Yeah. So it's like if
Uh-huh.
anybody ever goes through the drawers at my office desk, they're
You're
gonna
gonna find
find
your
like
drawers.
extra pairs of
Mhm.
underwear and stuff. They're gonna be like, "What the hell is she doing in here?" I mean,
Yeah, you gotta have prep. You gotta be prepped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
that's
how,
it.
remember when we used to have high water pants? If your pants were too
Yeah.
short, they would
Yeah.
say, "Oh, high water pants." Well,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
wasn't at the same time, but this employee came in and he had on a pair of and he didn't have socks on, and he had high water pants on. And so I went up to him and I didn't even think about what I was saying. And I said, "Zane, you really need to pull your pants down." What? You know,
Here in front of
like,
everyone.
oh my God, he's going to think I'm sexually harassing him or something. Oh, Lord.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Always
Yeah.
be a good Girl Scout, or remember the show,
Uh,
well, Let's Make a Deal. Remember all the people
Yeah.
had like
Yes.
yes.
everything in their purse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobby pins, paper
Yeah.
clips,
Yeah.
safety pins,
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Q-tips.
Maureen, at least Maureen, you have not decided to use poison ivy as a leaf to clean yourself like your friend did.
Oh
I can't
my.
even imagine.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
pretty
just
awful.
wow.
Exactly.
That's just
Yeah.
awful.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Do you know,
I mean,
when I
Well,
was in my early 20s, it, and I can't, yeah, maybe 20s. Anyway, it was the year that Mount St. Helens had the blew the top
Blown
off.
up. Yeah.
And it was a long weekend, and so some friends and I decided at the last minute, after we'd already consumed several beverages because it was Friday, that it would be a great thing if we drove down to see Mount St. Helen.
oh,
So
oh, oh,
pile in the car, girls. We're all going.
oh.
So yeah, off we go, and we're driving. And by this time, it's dark outside because
Mhm.
we still driving. Yeah, going down the road, everything's great. And I'm, after we've been driving for about an hour, I thought, I wonder, maybe we need to pull over and find out, make sure we're on the right road. Yeah, instead of going south from Calgary, we went west from Calgary.
Oh,
We're not going south to
no.
Montana. We were going
Yeah.
west British Columbia. So
Yeah. Yeah.
ended up in the middle of the night, deciding, no, okay, I guess we're going to go to
That was smart,
we'll try
Marina.
Victoria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But in the
Wow.
meantime, we had a girl with us who she was very, very prim, very proper. She was a friend of a friend. She was very, very Mormon. So there was,
Yeah.
watch your P's and Q's. By the end of that weekend, when we were driving home, oh man, she was in the back
You
cussing
were the
like
party girl.
sailor with down in the beers.
Come up with the best ones, the best of them.
Oh yeah. You let it rip. You let it rip.
Yeah.
You corrupted her.
Yes.
Almost like what you do in Vegas stays in Vegas. Only
Exactly.
that was, Victoria or wherever you were going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I remember my first semester at college. You
Mm.
go out of college and everything is an F in this and an F in that and an F in this and an F in that. And I went home and my mom said to me, "How you do? What's the matter? Are you upset about something?" I said, "I'm so effing mad." I said the word. And then I said, "No, I'm really not effing mad. I'm really just mad. And I just kept talking because I just didn't think about it anymore. I was saying
know.
it
It's
every
just so
5
normal.
seconds.
It's
Yes.
a normal
It's like the
conversation.
first time I heard my nephew use that word. I mean, he's 19 now, but he was probably 16 or 17, and he was on the game, and I could hear him down the hallway, and he's hollering and shouting and hooping, and suddenly I hear it come out of his mouth. I was like a double take because I'd never heard him curse before.
Mhm.
It was just rolling off his tongue so naturally, and I looked at my brother and I said, I know he doesn't talk like that in his mother's house. He says, nope.
Well,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
saves it up for us. I said, okay, that's cool.
No, my dad would say every swear in the world, but never the F word ever. But one time I was in the car with him alone,
Hey,
an older person,
Mhm.
and he said it, and I thought, wow, this is great. He finally has made me an adult, I guess, because he
Yes.
wouldn't have done it in front of my mother either.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah,
I
my
was
parents would not use that language, and then they'd say, only people who are inarticulate and have no vocabulary would have to use those words. So we didn't really use those words.
I get
But
it.
my daughter-in-law went when she and my son signed up to crew on one of those big ships in Seattle or wherever
Mhm.
they go in Washington State, where they,
Yeah.
you can go off and the clipper ships. She came back swearing like a sailor.
Yes.
I mean, to
Yeah.
this day, she will swear like a sailor, and
Yeah.
Well,
she is a Catholic schoolgirl. I mean,
when I was teaching
I
in
can make a sailor blush, let me tell
yeah,
you.
me too. When I was teaching in person, I said, really, yeah, I can understand there are some people that they use it as a noun, a verb, an
Yeah.
adjective,
Yes.
yeah.
but I said, really, they're just words. We're the
It's
ones who give
words.
power to them.
It's
And so
true.
if, and what
So
is
she
it?
got unleashed. She was
She
unleashed
was unleashed.
because
Yeah.
she was with people using it the whole entire
Yes.
week
Yeah.
or 2 weeks. They were crewing and learning how to
Sure.
do the clipper ship, and
Yeah.
and it became second nature. And then now Mike even has to say,
Tone it down.
Put it
he
down.
has to tell her to tone
Yeah.
it down.
Oh,
But
this is great.
I
This is
just
great.
think it's just being free to do whatever
So
you
a
want.
buddy of Wayne's had been in the Navy and came home on leave and asked his mother to pass the effing potatoes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize it once it
No, you
becomes,
Right.
No.
it becomes your second nature
It does.
to say the
It does.
word. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
It's just
Well, I so enjoyed this. We've been here just a little over an hour, so I guess it's time to go. The good news for me is that my class was canceled tonight because they closed the college down because we got 2 inches of snow.
Oh, thank you. 2 inches of snow.
I know. So I really enjoyed this, and now I'll I guess it's whose turn is it next week? It's
Just before next week. Oh, me.
Marina. Okay.
Marina.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
next week.
Marina's next
But
week.
Just wanted to
But we
say,
also have
yes,
revealed the
Martin
future.
Cheney, she says, I caught myself using feckin' the other day after listening to Naughty Nana. Naughty Nana
She's hilarious.
Oh.
She is from Newfoundland,
Okay.
and she is as Newfie as they come, and she refers to Felon 47 as the feckin' idiot.
Oh
She,
God,
I just discovered her like this past weekend. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I've
Naughty
watched
Nana.
every video. I'm rolling in the floor laughing. I have to make sure I have my earbuds in at work.
I have
if
now
I
written
play
that
her
down.
video.
Me
Yes.
too.
Check her out.
I'll
because
send
it's
you all the
like
link.
political commentary.
If I had grandkids, I would be yes, but I
Yes.
don't, and I think God did that on purpose. So.
But she talks about
What?
the orange moose knuckle and the feckin'
Wow.
idiot.
Oh,
And I just,
Oh my God. Half the words she says, I don't know what they mean because I
But they're
realize
funny.
it's the slang for
yes.
that
Mhm.
part of Canada. And I'm like, I don't know what it means, but it's funny. And
it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's like Auntie Fee. If you've seen Auntie
Yeah,
Fee,
I've seen it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
she's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna make something for the effing kids.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So anyway, Ellie, sorry I
That's
cut
okay.
you off.
no,
but
it's perfectly
yes,
fine.
yeah, on the 12th, I'm doing Sisters, and then the following week is Shari, and then
that'll
Val,
be me.
Well, again, yeah. All right,
Okay.
sounds wonderful.
and
Okay.
then
everybody, thank you for being with us.
Thank
And I'm glad it just was nice not to think about certain things, right? And
Yeah.
to really just enjoy laughing. So thank you. Laughing is magic. And it was wonderful to laugh here with my sisters and Val. Oh my God, that story is something else. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
No, me either.
Okay,
Especially-
folks. Here's Naughty Nana's.
Oh, you got her
There you
link?
go. That's her
Okay.
link. I just put it in the chat.
All
Y'all go
right.
check her out. Oh my God, she is so funny.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll
Thanks,
see you
everybody.
later.
See you later.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
y'all.
Bye. Oops, now I can't get the thing to stop streaming. There